Francisco. Big game brought to you by SoFi. A reminder, tune in for NBA action tomorrow night. Lakers, CC's Lakers, host the Warriors, presented by Indeed. Coverage begins at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Super Bowl 60 coming your way on Sunday, obviously, New England and Seattle. And there has been a theme all week here, seemingly, that this is a mismatch. That Seattle is a significantly better team than New England, and that this is a mismatch. Something, CC, that you have heard before, and then you went out and won that game that everybody said, oh, it's a mismatch. The Giants have no chance, and he's wearing his ring today.
I was just going to bring that up. Observations. CC's got the hardware on today. We see those diamonds shining.
Yeah, you got to flex the Super Bowl ring this time of year if you have one, right? So I just feel like, because I don't wear it that often, only 1 week out of the year, might as well pull it out for the Friday, the last football Friday of the season, the Friday before the big game. So that's what we got going on. But yeah, when we won Super Bowl 46, even though we were technically an underdog by Vegas's standards, didn't really feel like we were an underdog because the Giants had beaten the Patriots, 4 seasons prior to that in 2007. And that team that they beat was undefeated going into the big game. So yeah, we were the underdog, but everybody kind of knew that the Giants were one of those teams that had the Patriots number.
Yeah, you had proof of concept that you could beat them.
Yeah, plus we beat them in the regular season that year, too, in Foxborough.
Right.
Yeah.
So, obviously, we've
You remember
seen
that, Evan?
Yeah, great. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I do. I remember sitting in Indianapolis after that game in the stadium, and I didn't get up for a while. Like, the stadium was empty, and I just sat there, and I'm like, I cannot believe they lost this game.
Yeah.
I can't
You
believe it.
just sat there alone in an empty stadium?
That's right.
It brought the Colts fans so much joy to see the Patriots lose like that.
Did.
Yeah, right in front of the AFC divisional banner. What do they hang up there in Indy?
Hey, Ev, the next day, held their plane at the airport, let us fly out first. It was awesome.
Oh, that is pretty cool.
It was great.
That's tough.
Oh, this took a turn that I didn't expect here.
Actually, you
okay.
hold off. The champ's got to take off first.
Damian Woody, ESPN NFL analyst, was on our show yesterday and had this to say about the Patriots quarterback, Drake Maye, being disrespected going into this game.
I think the person who's getting disrespected the most is Drake Maye. And I think when you think of this game, everyone's thinking, what is this New England offense going to be able to do against Seattle's defense? All because what has the New England offense done this postseason? They haven't really done much. Now, granted, they've gone against a lot of really good defenses, but I think when people analyze the matchup of the game, they tend to look at it as, well, Drake Maye needs to be the one that has a big game in order for the Patriots to win this game.
CC, is this game a mismatch?
It feels like it in a lot of ways. I mean, I think that Seattle has the better players. Now, the game is not played on paper. It's played on the field. And so there's always the possibility that a team has intangibles, that a team is good in situational football, and that allows them to have success and keep the game closer than what anybody would expect. But I always go back to something that Mel Kiper says when it comes to evaluating players and evaluating teams. If you can't block them, you can't beat them. And I just don't see how the New England Patriots block the Seattle Seahawks. And I don't see how the New England Patriots are going to stack up when it comes to being able to create negative plays when Seattle's offense is on the field. So that would be my chief concern for the Patriots. And if you look back at the Super Bowls over the last decade or so, all of the blowouts that we've seen, it's been teams that have struggled when it comes to their offensive line, being able to hold up, being able to block people in the run game, being able to protect the quarterback in the drop-back passing game. And so that has to be a big concern. Drake Maye been sacked 15 times this postseason. He's been hit 29 total times on dropbacks. That's way too much for 3 games in the playoffs going into the Super Bowl. I don't like the direction that the Patriots offensive line is trending in, and it could make their season come to a screeching halt on Sunday.
And even though that shoulder is, according to him, okay, he's turned the corner, he's been a full participant, he's throwing, if that Seahawks defense gets after him, how could that disrupt him, or how could that potentially aggravate that shoulder or impact his ability to perform? And obviously you think about the Patriots and what they did in the regular season on offense. They ended the regular season ranked second in scoring. But the Seahawks gave up the fewest points in the NFL on defense. This defense is elite, historic when you look at some of the numbers. But then on the other side of the ball, even though this Patriots defense is certainly respectable, underrated even, I just think that the Seahawks offense is dynamic. They can beat you in a variety of ways. JSN is a mismatch. Kenneth Walker has stepped up in the absence of Charbonnet. Sam Darnold, we're not necessarily as worried about what you're going to get from him after his NFC Championship game. I'm hoping it's a compelling game. My concern is that it will be a blowout.
So if you asked me 24 hours ago, was I concerned about Drake May's shoulder, I would have said no, he's fine. I'm concerned about Drake May's shoulder.
Why?
Well, walking around here talking to enough people that would know made me a little bit nervous yesterday, I got to tell you. There was enough conversations that I had with people that know this stuff more than I would, that are around that team, that are saying you shouldn't just write it off as if it's nothing. And CeCe and Damian Woody yesterday on our show, go back and listen after 7:30 a.m. Eastern time to the podcast, said it doesn't matter how much you're banged up in the Super Bowl, you play.
Of course.
And so nobody's wondering whether or not Drake Maye is going to play. But CeCe, the information that I was consuming yesterday made me feel like I can't put it at 0% concern. Like there's a much higher percentage for me than I realized a day ago. And now I'm a little bit more concerned about that.
Yeah, I mean, anytime a quarterback has an injury to his throwing shoulder, you're concerned about how that's going to affect his production. But Drake Maye has said he's turned the corner. You know who else is going to be turning the corner on Sunday? DeMarcus Lawrence, right around Will Campbell. So good luck with that one. Because that's the bigger concern. It's not whether or not Drake Maye can throw the football down the field. It's whether or not he's going to have time to throw the football, whether or not his offensive line is going to allow him to stay upright enough to impact the game in the way that we know he can. So, yeah, his health is going to be a concern, but I'm more concerned with the mismatch of the Patriots' offensive line versus the defensive front of the Seattle Seahawks. But, Ev, you talk about this all the time. That's where Josh McDaniels comes into play.
Yes.
That's where scheming it up comes into play. The Seattle Seahawks, they major in too high safety looks. They play the third most too high safety coverages in the NFL, and they're in sub packages, which is nickel or dime, over 90% of the time. So what that tells me is there are going to be a lot of zone coverages, and there could potentially be some soft spots. It's up to Josh McDaniels to scheme up open receivers in those soft spots of the zone and allow Drake Maye to have quick answers and early targets so he can evade that pressure from the Seattle Seahawks defensive front. That's going to be major key if the New England Patriots are going to be able to put together drives and score points. It's being able to get Drake Maye answers in the passing game early in the downs. If they can do that, they have a chance to make this a fourth quarter game.
So, CeCe, very quickly, you have a doctorate degree level brain when it comes to football. In layman's terms, get the ball out of your hands quickly and just find a spot if you're a receiver. It's not about running specific routes. It's like, oh, Chris is over there, Michelle's over there. I need to be in the middle and do it quickly. Is that basically what you're saying?
Yeah, to me, this is a big Steph Diggs game. This is why you traded for Steph Diggs, these types of games. Because he knows exactly what to do. There ain't a coverage, there ain't a look that he ain't seen. And he knows how to get open, and he's a strong hands catcher. I mean, we're showing that catch that he made the touchdown against the Houston Texans. Awesome. Like, this is a big Steph Diggs game, and he knows what to do in terms of run after catch and being able to convert those receptions into first downs with yak. So I think that that's going to be the game within the game. Josh McDaniels being able to find ways to scheme up open receivers and for Drake Maye to find number 8 early and often.
Coming up, guess who's going absolutely nowhere? We'll discuss next. We're on Sportsmanlike.